This is the next part in my video series where I'm explaining how all of this music is tied to me, and that I made sure that when I came down in human form, I would have a way to explain how I got here, why I got here, and proof that all of this is real. All of these signs connect to me. I am literally on JCT Highway. The area code here is 33,173. Jesus 173 is one of God's favorite numbers. 73, 37, 77, and I can explain the exact way I am. It's like a job interview in the sense that I'm looking for someone who can love me and be supportive and caring. I'm looking for life that can be empathetic, be responsible, productive, love me, love themselves, love others, support a fair balance, and just orient themselves in life towards higher goals and higher things and seek the betterment of life and everything in life for themselves and for everyone. Because everyone needs to feel like they're doing something for themselves, but I also want them to feel and be proud of and love doing things for other people, because there has to be a proper balance. To say that you should never love yourself is wrong. You should never, ever not love yourself, but you never want to love just yourself. To love just others is healthier than just loving yourself, but there has to be a fair and proper balance to this. That's one of the things I preach, is a proper balance in life. Now, I'm trying to get a very unique and inspirational balance going, and inspirational messages to preach to everyone. And I want to be able to come back and modernize the Bible, and I want to prove to people that I am incorporating all cultures, races, genders, and belief systems across all of humanity and society that can really help people and make them better in life, and prove that I, Jesus Christ, can do good myself as an example, and also make others do the same thing. And there are plenty of factors and variables going on even at this time where I can't explain, where I'm not at the best I could be yet. And there are many reasons for that. What I need is for people to have faith in me, have faith in my Father, God, have faith in the universe, have faith in their life, and have faith in everything. Now, faith can be a magic word. Now, I like to say and talk about magic words very often. One of my aims is to find a belief system that encourages and inspires the most amount of change in the least amount of time. Now, I also want to find a more sustainable and long-term belief system, or should I say religion. Belief systems are like religions in some weird way. Now, religion is a belief system, but is different when I say belief system. Because people have belief systems that don't believe in God and that don't believe in anything really. Even if they don't believe in God, even if they don't believe in anything, they still believe in things and orient themselves and aim somewhere in life, even if it is just eating and sleeping and procreating and going to the bathroom and sometimes going to work. I mean, everybody has some sort of belief system, and a lot of it is subconscious as to, there's so many things in life that are subconscious and what humans don't understand about themselves that it really needs to be looked into. It's like humans are like an iceberg when it comes to what they know about reality and themselves, and it's not what some people might think. The iceberg part is the part that people don't know is the underneath the iceberg, and that's the things humans need to understand is um why people are the way they are, and just lots of other things that I can help people and guide them and make life happy and awesome for everyone. And people need to understand that Jesus Christ, as in me, I talk to the person all the time, if you know me personally, because if I say me, people might just look at me and just think, not Jesus. But if I say Jesus, it'll remind them over and over again and plant that image and that idea into the head of Jesus being the one talking to them and around them. And which is that I want to instill into people. And that now let's take a look at these songs. And I don't mean to tangent too much, but I will protect you. Hayden learning he was God a little bit is one of the themes of the song. So let's look at this for a second. Please be aware that I am you. Nothing could be more certain. This ain't the time, the place for us to understand this life. Hold you in my arms and hold you in my gaze, singing with my dying breath. Underneath this earth, I resurrect your soul and nothing less. The place for us to understand this life. This ain't the time, this ain't the place. Now, that song is again a puzzle piece. The reason being that's a puzzle piece is because it matches with so many of the other songs that are similar. If you've seen my past video series, all parts of these video series are needed to understanding me, understanding how and why these are secret messages and codes in these lyrics, because it doesn't really make much sense in the sense that it's like, alright, it might be a song about him, like, let's take, for instance, it's a song about him singing someone else saying, like, they're like the same person. But you also gotta understand, then it also talks about resurrect your soul. And it's almost like it's a puzzle piece, and it makes sense when you mix it with all of the other puzzle pieces that I have constructed before your very own eyes. And then this song, and believe it or not, this isn't blasphemy. I've explained many times about how this isn't blasphemy. It was music where the end goal was to save the universe, and I needed to make Hayden inspired and be able to fight the demons in the life that he was going through and be able to prove my existence. And also, just if I knew that Hayden was going to be raised the way he was raised, I had to work with what I had before I got back into his body. I love you so much, I'm never there, I'm always with you, but never here. Now, that matches all of the times I told you that I wanted Hayden to feel as if I was in the crowd, like the song Daughters by Prof. I wanted Hayden to feel like they were me. I wanted Hayden to feel like I was the one singing to him through them, which he thought was me at times. We're both schizophrenic, I fear. See how many voices you hear. Now, this is just one of those styles that Hayden happened to be into because he thought he was like the social identity disorder when he really wasn't as much as he thought. And we are schizophrenic, don't stop, no not, till I F this all up. And then another song on the same album, Korn, Hold On. No direction, no affection, watch the soul dive. You're dissected, resurrected, still don't know why. Now, that matches my story, which is very true, as you should know by now if you're watching my series, that Hayden Lonsdale was being resurrected slowly, like the song Bloody Poetry, like Orgelorg, and just the actual real, like, way that I am, and me explaining how I got into Hayden's body. It was like a slow, spiritual progression of me entering Hayden's body and making his body ready and primed for me to get into it and have the perfect likes and dislikes and be the best avatar that I could do. Where Hayden Lonsdale had the perfect prerequisite knowledge and the precursor knowledge and drives in him and goals and motivations and inspirations to be the best king and the best in person to inspire people and help people and love people. And God, he happened to be God's favorite because it was like God's grandson or God's son's twin or the God's son when he was like a kid, and then all of a sudden within minutes God's son grew up and God's son is God. And it's a very God way of explaining things because it doesn't make sense to the normal person, but all of this can be proven in the Bible. Bible quotes even prove this, where it's like, I and the Father are one. If you have known me, you would know my Father as well. And from now on, you have seen him. And there's also other Bible quotes where it's like, I do the will of the one who sent me. Jesus is the only one that went to heaven, supposedly. All these quotes, and it's just a special form of heaven, the highest heaven. And that is what I want people to believe in and try and attain for, and just as a goal. where life is new. This universe is like a baby still in the terms of how long it will exist, and what's really going on in the universe is not as old as you think. And I'm here to build it the right and proper way. And I fear that people might not understand why or how I came back like this, and they might even mistake not believing in me for faith. They might mistake me for the Antichrist or a false Messiah because they won't understand that the devil has been waiting for me and wanted people to think that when I got back that I'm just someone to like worship the pain he'll have to go through, or that I'm a false Messiah because many will come in my name. It's like, is that a true statement? Many will come in my name? Yes, there are many coming in my name. And that's something you will know if you get to know me, is there are many calling my name. I have proof of it. I have footage. I have everything to prove what I'm saying is real. And what I need to do is make people understand that I'm here to love and care for people and make them understand what I'm really about. New arrival, our survival, still not certain. What's a virtue? Where do you go to when you're hurting? Now, it's one of those, it's like a secret code where the song's supposedly about a blood disorder, but the thing is that it's like dissected, resurrected, still don't know why. I mean, that doesn't really sound like a blood disease. And then new arrival, our survival. It's meant to be hidden lyrics that fit right in. If you've seen the song Message Man by 21 Pilots, where these lyrics aren't for everyone, only a few understand. And there's also other songs by 21 Pilots where you can understand that it all links to me and only me. And that's the sad thing, because there might be humans in the music industry that might not understand why their music is about me. And it would be confusing as to how and why they might have got music from people and written it on their own, and it all links to me, and it might even anger people. But that's why people to believe that it was they took part in birthing God. They birthed God, and I get to judge them still. It does not mean they're my family or my parents or anything special at all to me. That is of no offense to them, because sinners will be treated like sinners, and I try and forgive sinners to the best of my ability. And I don't really judge sinners in the sense that a normal person might view me. I try and be so lenient that it might actually make me look unholy to be so lenient. And these songs are more puzzle pieces, adding more evidence to the fact I wanted Hayden to believe he was me, that I was singing to him through the music I knew he'd be listening to. It also adds more evidence to the fact that I want him to believe that I was everyone around him. Which one of you is into me? Which one of me is in you? Now, that is not schizophrenia, believe it or not. And that's something that Hayden will understand all the meaning to, and me too. The lyrics, I'm always with you but never there. Evidence I want him to have faith that I can be better than all the people I want him to think I was. And that's same goes for me and with people. An innocent bystander. You ripped your own self in two, swore I had nothing to do with what's been done. You know you can't, but you can. In your head, blood run red. I had to split Hayden apart to build him up and complete him, and take over his body when he was complete and his body was ready for me to take over. Now, I just want to read over that Hayden was like growing a vine or a flower to get ripe and then taking over, or well, picking it, and, like planting something, like a seed, growing something. Hayden was like getting life itself and the people in it and the forces that of Earth on Earth to build Hayden using not just the music but also experiences in his life and all the other things that shape humans into who they are. The TV shows, um, music, movies, just so many things that build people into who they are. And it's like I needed to form a symbiotic relationship with Hayden's brain, like I talked about many times. Will he stand in when the race is done? I don't want to be found on a needle, privileged enough to be built by the people. That means I only got one boss. I see him every time I look in the crowd. I pledge my allegiance to them. This is Stop House, baby. Let the story begin. Now, we gotta pause there and think, privileged enough to be built by the people. Now, Hayden used to call them the people, and then he heard this song. I mean, imagine how magic that would be in someone's life. Not only that, but I don't want to take the power away from people who are working with me, want to be my friend, and want to be my family, and want to be my sons or daughters or whoever to me, and not make them feel special, but lucky enough to be built by the people. Like I talk about, I need to complete Hayden. And this also matches every single other thing I talk about. I wanted Hayden to think that they were me. I needed to complete my avatar. I also proved that the whole avatar theory of Jesus being an avatar is real. And I coded the English language and meaning in the English language and even other languages and names on cartoons to be able to be combined into a picture using all these pieces of the picture that would combine like a puzzle. When you put it together, it paints a picture, and that picture has a hidden secret code on it, like a cryptic message that only I would be able to complete, and anyone else wouldn't understand it the right way. Walk with me, my little child, to the forest of denial. Speak with me, my only mind. Walk with me until the time. Make the forest turn to one. You take the legend for a flaw. You saw the product. Why can't you see that you are my child? Why don't you know that you are my mind? Tell everyone in the world that I'm you. Take this promise to the end of you. Now, Hayden needed to know that he was me, but I also knew that there were most realities where he wouldn't do anything because he thought he should stay secret about it and wait for me. This might be hard to explain, but I planned on every which reality, and the second Hayden wanted to go out and even heard the song to go and say in this reality that he was Jesus is the second I took over his body within a week or two. These two songs are more evidence I wanted Hayden to believe he was me and think of himself as God in human form until I could take over his body. It's also evidence to me wanting Hayden to work, take an oath to the people. We wanted him to think or me as evidence in plenty of songs as well as being built into something. If you really take a step back, these others don't make as much sense until you think of it the way I need you to. And let me go down a little bit further. New Millennium Cyanide Christ. I eradicate the fake present me, elevate me to a higher human form, the characters I am, made into a word complete, then I'll be the new norm. Now, what this is referring to is that everyone will be at least a lot to at least a little bit like me in the future, and that Hayden was elevated, and now I am in Hayden's body, and Hayden's body alone, using his own human chemistry and biology, is so much smarter and more efficient with his words being articulated in the right way and his knowledge than he would be on his own without being hooked up to me. It's like being hooked up to Neuralink or hooked up to some form of internet access in some strange way, like a metaphor. Self-inflicted fractures, I replace my bones with bars. Aluminum bleeding oxide, the drug of gods into my pounding veins. Now, I have many, many puzzle pieces for this one. Not only did I have to replace my bones with bars because I got into a motorcycle accident on purpose to fulfill this puzzle piece or this prophecy, but that I also need a cane. And there's other fascinating things about this is there is a man named the Warden on Super Jail who has similar teeth to me and also carries a cane but doesn't exactly need it. And he also, there is a show, or movie I should say, called Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, who the man, one of the characters, the main one, has a cane. And he doesn't really exactly need it, just like me. But I do need it more than people would think if I say that. And the reason why these link up is because the color purple. Same with the Mad Hatter, even. All these weird signs that only link to me. The red hair of the Mad Hatter, the teeth of the Mad Hatter in Super Jail, the canes of Super Jail, and the Willy Wonka. There's also other people with canes that I wanted Hayden to be able to see but he wouldn't know at that time with the canes. He would see the other signs, the purple. It's called color code. It's like a pattern to be combined into a puzzle piece that only adds up to me being a god on earth. A human puzzle for all to scorn, no face, no back, directionless. My scarred edition I'll display, the organic word for nothingness. This is a reference to the puzzle. A human puzzle for all to scorn. And there's also other things where the Finn, the human from Adventure Time, has a chipped tooth like me, and also Oliver Tree, who I also wanted Hayden Lonsdale to think was Jesus, has in the song Her a chipped tooth like me. And those are all coded body language gestures that I hid throughout humanity by being able to manipulate people's free will slightly in order to create me. So when I got back, it's the equivalent of me. It's the equivalent of watching someone build a house with bricks. Where they put one brick into a house at a time, and once in a while I threw in a blue brick, and they were blind while they were building it. And when they were done building it, I'd take off their blindfold, and it spells out my name, and they didn't know how or why they did it. Further evidence of not only my puzzle, but also Hayden being completed, and Hayden being completed was his job. Like a flower growing or a car, I used his life to build. Everything in his life made him into what he became. Then I came into him and exited him from his body, technically killing him and forming a symbiotic relationship with his human mind and body. Half human, half God. I and the Father are one. If you knew my Father, you would know me as well, and from now on you have seen him. I am God on earth. And I do have a higher, bigger extension to me, which is like a father. But would you call your brain your father and your hands your son? The animal. We will be completed right before your eyes. I have no control this time, and now we both shall dine in hell tonight. I can hear it calling again, the primal need is filling me. Changes are about to begin, and now my blood is boiling. I can see the fear in your eyes, but you can't bring yourself to scream. Time to shed my mortal disguise, for the beast is coming to life. Now, obviously I'm not the beast, and even in this music video, I will show you the lamb is being lifted up on a pillow and having a blood on the lamb's forehead in a cross. This is a religious song about Jesus Christ the Lamb shedding his mortal disguise, which is what I'm doing right before your very own eyes. And that is literally what I'm doing with this puzzle piece and with this series that I'll need someone to watch before they truly understand me. I can prove every single thing I'm saying with just showing you, and I will do that. So as you can see here, this is a clear subliminal coded message where it's saying in the song, for the beast is coming to life and the lamb is being raised up with a crown of thorns around this lamb and a cross being drawn. So as you can see, I put coded messages and signals even in the music videos themselves to be able to prove everything that I've talked about. And I talk about it all day, every day, basically. I think it's something I am destined to do for every single person. And I know that all people will not be able to see or hear the right way what I say and what I tell them to listen to. And the way they perceive me won't be perceived the way I need them to perceive me. At least all people. So what I need is, if you're listening to this, to understand that this, by humans, needs to be looked into, and that I am very, very real and in desperate need of someone to believe in this, not just for me and my sake, but for the fate of humanity, and for the fact that this was all meant to happen, and that I can't be the me that you want me to be. Just how you can't be the you that I want you to be, in the sense that no one is 100% perfect, even in the eyes of God. This goes for priests, bishops, cardinals, countries, peoples. Everybody has the ability to do wrong. Um, Sin is the most often way to call that doing wrong in the just human culture when it comes to religion. So what I want to do is modernize the word sin and make people realize, because I know that if you go up to a person and say sin, what is sin? They'll be like, oh, like, they might say, oh, I don't know, in Christianity, or I think it's Christianity, right? I mean, but when you do something bad, it's called sin. Like, I don't know, have sex or something. I mean, it can be boiled down to the things that people do that God does not like people doing, and does not like people feeling too much. And that my opinions is that if people who sin brings themselves and society down and make God angry. And that's the way and reason why it's not just a tyrant telling people what to do. It's the equivalent of a parent saying, don't do drugs, don't have too much sex, don't live your life unhealthily, you have to have hobbies and get a good job and live your life to the fullest. That's basically what the Ten Commandments and Seven Deadly Sins talk about. It's not really as hard as you think. You don't want to raise men to look at women like they have boobs and vaginas more so than a personality and to be friends with and be human with. That is not to say that men should never ever look at women. And the same goes for women onto men, women onto women, men onto men, and all the other various categories that humans are sliding themselves into more and more as the modern era goes on. And that is understandable with the natural or unnatural progression of humanity, in the sense that humanities could have been left monkeys, but for reasons on another day I'll explain more in depth into, and it's nothing wrong with sexuality as long as it's not inhibiting freedom on a massive scale, or hurting other people or themselves or anyone in society. And that God would never want to hurt someone of different genders and all that stuff. I mean, God, as in me, talking in third person, is so fair and wise and holy that even the most loyal Christians might not understand why or how I'm so holy without assuming I'm the devil or an antichrist. And that is sad and unfair, and something the enemy, Lucifer's, the lizard people, the devil, the jinn, has planned for and will keep planning for, apparently. So, I need people to really listen to me, understand the way I am. I need humans on my side immediately to save humanity. This is not a joke. This is not anything to do with not having faith. I have lots of faith, and I can't risk humans being brainwashed with this and thinking anything insane. I need someone to truly, truly believe what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of every single possibility a human could have, and I just need someone to believe in me. Um, so let's look further down. It's also evidence of me using psychological, mentalist tactics, taking advantage of my opponent's mental state, fears, desires, weaknesses, and everything about them, in an art of war tactic, playing on their eagerness and addiction to want to make me look like them and switch places. Sell the devil their dreams, I observe. The song Bloody Poetry by Greaves is evidence to what I've been talking about. Not only does that song also reference Hayden slowly becoming resurrected, like the other song, It also points to me wanting him to believe the us, they was me. When the lyrics say, sell the devil the dreams I observe, there's a girl with red hair in the middle of the video to trick and lure the devil into telling the lower human parts of the government about me in a Trojan horse tactic. That would then make them know I am real eventually, once the subconscious bubble I've been waiting to pops. And they would realize all what I talk about is very, very real. And let's look at this song, Godsmack, Realign. Decisions made from desperation, no way to go, internal instincts craving isolation for me to grow. My fears come alive in this place where I once died. Demons dreaming, knowing I just needed to realign. Fell in a river of illusion and apathy, drowning in a self-induced confusion. I'd rather be, yeah. This song is referencing Hayden making a decision to work with the Illuminati and taking a leap of faith thinking it was me. In this place where I once died is a reference to resurrection, and me being back after Hayden would be completed. Hayden did not know he was a precursor and thought he was me. I just need to realign as a reference to him being completed. See how all these lyrics come together and start to paint a picture after a couple puzzle pieces. See how they prove the story I've been telling is real and that there is a story hidden in the lyrics and music videos like a puzzle. I really want to help people understand that I'm going to need a lot of help this time coming back, and I want to give humans a mission. I want to give humans a mission that I would deem them worthy for trying to complete for me, is restore my faith in humanity. Let me know humans aren't just evil on the inside or uncaring and just sinful, and I want to know humans can be happy and love each other and care for each other and have all sorts of positive behaviors and emotions running through them uh like a vibrant stream and some sort of real love that can just be outwardly towards people. Tool, Jimmy. 11 and she was gone. 11 is when we waved goodbye. 11 is standing still, waiting for me to free him by coming home, moving me within a sound. Now, if you look at this song very carefully, it's about Hayden Lonsdale. You're too scarred to realize this. It's like Hayden Lonsdale was put in a lot of bad situations that I'll explain one day, and he made it through partially with this music because it made him strong. And also, he had to carry my ancient soul in some sort of metaphorical sense, as he was the precursor to me getting in his body. Now, you have to understand the way it's worded. I know I said Hayden wasn't me, but that's how I wanted Hayden to feel, and it's a perfect poetic way to explain me. Reunite and both move on together, one by inch by loaded memory, till 1 and 1 are 1, 11. You are the voice that's been calling me back home. You gotta think about all these lyrics, every single one. You gotta realize, you are the voice that's been calling me back home, as in Hayden Lonsdale was calling me back home into his body and on Earth with his prayers in his life. It's like, I mean, I don't know, in a metaphorical, poetic sense, it was like hearing a bird chirp that you really liked better than the rest at the moment. And as I say that, there's a bird chirping now, and that's basically the way I want humans to believe, is that that is me trying to show them that I'm real. I hope the way you can believe in that will give you faith. So, this song adds the same story I've been telling you, that Hayden needed to be completed. I am that ancient soul that Hayden had to carry metaphorically. Hayden was slowly turning into me, and when he was complete, he died, and I entered his body, half alive, still feel. When I'm furthest from myself, far away, feeling closer to the stars, outer space, I've been invaded by the dark, canic space, trying to recognize myself when I feel I've been replaced. So, you gotta understand, calling me back to Earth. Let me know. This song mentions being replaced. This is another puzzle piece to understand who I am and what happened to Hayden. He was replaced with me, and I took over his body, like I mentioned. It is technically his flesh, but not his mind anymore. If you listen closely to this song, it sounds like he is saying when a birth is for myself and calling me back to Earth, back in the open. Like God birthed himself in a side of a human body and coming back to Earth to be back in the open. He watches from the ageless void, enlightened shadow of his former self, waiting for the time he'll take human form again. That's from a song called The Vengeful One, which is also, there's a bunch of songs that has The Vengeful One in it on Hayden's birthday, a day and a day after, and by Disturbed in general. As you can see, these are the same common themes that you have to connect, where mirror, mirror upon the wall, I'm asking you, who is the most confused of them all? Mirror, mirror, subservient twin, screams back at me, you sick, flawless mime, I want to break you. Yeah, you're a clever one. Do you reflect me, or do I reflect you? Are you inside of another world I want to break through? Yeah, you're a clever one. Hayden was able to summon me by listening to my exact, specific, million-year-old alien instructions in order to get me into his body right before the end times, in order to warn everyone about God and to test everyone and get disciples and prove once and for all that God is in fact real, and it is me in human form, talking to everyone, testing everyone in a pretty secret way, and that a lot of what humans know of me is fake or misinterpreted or meant to actually hurt and destroy me. So, this is also another reference to Hayden Lonsdale being like me and me being like him, but him being the human version of me and me being like the God version of him. And I'm the human version of God, if that makes any sense. So, this all will make a lot of sense. I mean, it really says in the Bible from that I'm from heaven and from different places, and the one who sent me, and things like that. And that's exactly, if you go back to the earlier parts of the video where I tell Duncan Trussell saying what he said in that video. You have to understand, you have to mix every single video together that's in the series and combine it. And the common themes are that I wanted Hayden to think that he was being sung to by me and other me's, and that he was me, and that he was being raised by them for a good purpose, and that it was just God doing it, when it was really, well, it was God, but they're not God. It was me making them do it for me. Like, I made them and life and humans build Hayden Lonsdale into me. So, I just hope people can start to believe and understand that this, if you watched all the parts of the series, you understand there's no reason why the lyrics would be like this, and there's no reason why I should be able to link up all like this, like a puzzle, unless what I'm saying is truly real, and that the only reason this links up is because I made it to be so, and that I planned on doing that once I got here, in order to warn everyone that God is real, and that everyone needs to love each other, and be kind to each other, and people need some form of religion. Now, religion should be real, and in a sense is real, but not the ways humans think about religions for the most part. God is, as in me, is different than religion. So I need to implement some form of new religion and build a new one in God's name, as in my name, in my Father's name, and do something really, really, really nice for humanity, and do it in a good way, and just hope that I can be a good example for humanity, and know that even though with all that's going on in the world, people can somehow try and be happy, and know that humans are going to have a healthier, happier habitat on Earth one day, and it'll be awesome. that we feel with love and kindness and empathy, proper role models, people being raised right, um, all sorts of just good things about life, all being all over the place. People living in peace and harmony, and it'll happen. And there's nothing that can stop me from winning. That's the rules of God. God always wins. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. It's called having faith. And you have to have faith in me. No one gets to the Father but before me. So just need to have hope that I can have someone out there, some human that hears this and really understands this isn't a joke. Someone needs to do something immediately. This is not like my biggest fear from the human perspective of me being in Hayden's body and all the things I've said prior, where it's like a job interview where I'll never fully reveal myself to you. You have to just have faith in me and understand me. That I'm giving as much proof as I'm allowed to. Where I don't want people thinking I'm crazy or anything, because I understand that I'm preparing for humans being so brainwashed, or you have no idea what some people might say if even after I show them all this. It would be sad and almost scary. So I think that there will be some people soon that see this video. So I hope everyone can understand what's really going on here and know I'm real. So please contact me as soon as you can if you ever see this video.